Hi guys, this is Aksanwari from Design Plus Go. Today we're going to learn lines animation. I'm the person that behind the graphic design and animation for Design Plus Code. And you can see some of my work in his course. I did a lot of lines animation, SVG animation, blob animation. I'm going to show you how to do CSS and CodeSandbox. So let's get started. In this tutorial, I will show you how to draw letters in Figma using pen tool to create a vector line. First of all, I start to a sketch on the paper. After finishing my sketch, I just took a photo with my iPhone and then move it to Figma. Let's create a vector line. First, we're going to use a pen tool. Go to the top menu, click on pen, or you can use P for shortcut. I'm going to show you how to use pen tool for those who new at this. First, we're going to make a straight line. You just need to click anywhere on a canvas. For example, here is for testing and close. And if you want a straight line, hold shift. It creates a straight line for you. Holding shift while moving will snap your cursor to 45-degree axis. All right, let's start from the top. From here and click this curve, click and drag. It becomes a curve now. And this is a handle. And this part will influence the upcoming curve. If you rotate the handle, this determines the degree. If you hold the handle longer, it will control the intensity of the degree that you want, like this. Okay? See this part? This part will influence the upcoming curve. So it fits perfectly this curve. So I can just move here and drag and hold it until it fits the line. And my next point, I'm going to put it here, click, drag, and hold it. The longer that it fits the line, okay, like this. And next point, I'm going to put it here. All right. And the next one here. Like this one, it doesn't fit what I want. So I can go back, or I just put on a menu here for move. I'm just gonna play with it. And this one can edit. I'm gonna edit this one. And for contouring my path, I'm gonna use back to pen. I'm gonna use P. I'm gonna click on the circle here. And then it continues for me. Click and drag. Play with it. So here is too small. I don't see much of detail. So I'm gonna zoom in to have a better look. So like this. Now I see that my stroke is too big. I don't see detail. So I make it smaller. Okay, one is better. Let's continue. Okay, it may take longer. Be careful. Don't join the point together because it's going to break the contouring line. All right, let's continue tracing the lines to make it perfect until you are satisfied. So I want to see what it looks like. So I'm gonna hide the background to see what it looks like. Okay, it's not bad, but I want to see a bit bigger stroke. Okay, 10, fine. And now I see that my letter is not perfectly. I'm going to edit it. But you can just go the top menu here, edit object, and your command key to bend my curve. I'm gonna play with it until I'm satisfied. Okay. Let's see. I want to see. I'll try to do the same like this one. Okay. I'm done with this one. So I'm gonna continue with the like. Okay, the same technique. I'm gonna use pen to click here, draw to make a curve and trace. You follow the lines. Okay, like this. A heart here. We can adjust later. Done. Escape. Okay. Hide my background. So it looks like this. Edit it. We can make it smaller, not the same size. Zoom in to see more detail. I like to play with it until I'm satisfied. Now my letter is ready. I want to add S here. Like, subscribe, and like me. Something like this one. Edit it here. It look very nice. Square, because the letter is too big compared to the background. We're gonna make it smaller. We're gonna group them together. Just hold on key. When you see this icon, you can scale. We're going to place it in the center. And for the background, I'm gonna use radical. You can use same color as this one. Clone by Control C. Click to clone it. All right. Now let's add color for the stroke. Okay, for subscribe, select on layer. I'm gonna go to the right panel, stroke, click on color, choose linear gradient. Okay, so I prepared a color here for this one. I'm gonna use yellow. Okay, select your square. For cloning color, I'm gonna use Control C. Clone the color and select the other square. I put 100%. I'm gonna clone this purple. Now, for this layer, like me, I can use the same style that I did before, like this one. But select layer and your mouse, right click, choose copy properties. Go back at your work, select right click, pass property. And now I want to have the same effect as this one. I want to do light neon effect. You have a glow. Command D for duplicate. And this one, I'm gonna name it blur. Because I want the blur, I want the same effect like this one. They have a glow light. It have the neon effect. That's give a very nice color in the dark background. So I'm gonna make stroke at 20, add effects, select layer blur. I'm gonna put the 20. I'm gonna change color for stroke. We just need 3 color. With this yellow, we can use this red. Control C, clone. Center, we're gonna clone the purple color. This one, we clone the blue, like this. For this one, I'm gonna use the same for this one. I can just copy property. Yes, right click, pass properties. Same thing, I'm going to duplicate the name blur. This one too, I'm going to copy the same property as this one, the blur layer. Click, copy property, back to this layer, select blur layer, click, pass properties. When you subscribe, same thing, we're going to duplicate, Command D, name blur. So I'm going to just paste. It doesn't match my stroke color. I'm gonna change it. I'm not gonna use blue because we don't have blue. Okay, it's more like this. Okay, let's play with the stroke. Wow, I really like the color and the glow here. I add dots here. Just add a circle, the same color as this one. And second layer, it's a blur. It's the same color as red. Finally, we finished the design. And now it's time to do animation. Let's start with CodeSandbox. We're going to do a simple animation using CSS. We're going to need app.js. This is where we're going to put our code in HTML. And here we have style CSS. This is where we're going to put our class CSS, the property here. And you're right, you can see this is your browser. You can see your result here. Now let's import my vector line to CodeSandbox. What I need to do is select layers, gonna select the group that's named subscribe. Right click on your mouse, click on copy as SVG. What's amazing about this is that you don't need to worry about code because they already give you code already, all the property inside your SVG. Now let's replace this code by SVG that we just copied. Paste here. Okay, we're going to add class after the SVG. Class name equal double cut. I name it subscribe. Now search for path. Let's add ID. ID equal double quote subscribe line. Why I use class here and ID here. I will explain a little bit about the difference between class and ID. The difference between class and ID. ID are unique. Each element can have only one ID. Each page can have only one element with that ID, versus class are not unique. You can use the same class on multiple elements. You can use multiplying class on the same element. So that is the difference. All right, we're going to copy this code and paste it after path. What is path? It's the vector line that we create in Figma. Now in Figma, we're going to copy SVG. For the like me, right click, copy as SVG to CodeSandbox, and then we paste after subscribe. Same thing with the like SVG, we're going to add class. Class name equal to double quote. I name it like. After, we're going to add ID after the path. ID equal double quote. Name it like line. Going to copy this line of code and paste it here. Select this group and copy as SVG. Back to Figma. We're going to paste it between those SVG class ID. And paste after path. Then we have two dots to copy as SVG. Right click, copy as SVG. Go back to CodeSandbox and paste under the like SVG. All right, for this dot, I only gonna add class. For this SVG, we're gonna add class name equal to double quote, I name it dot one. For this SVG, we don't need to add ID because we don't need to animate stroke because they don't have stroke. Same thing for dot two, we do the same step, only add class and name it dot two. Afterwards, let's go to style sheet. So first we're going to add a background. All right then. Now let's add some background for us. Animation. In Figma, go to Inspect. You have CSS property here. What is so cool about Figma is that they give you CSS code that you don't need to be an expert in code. So everything is already done for you. What you have to do is copy those lines of code, Command C for copy, and then go back to CodeSandbox. And we're going to paste it inside class app. Save. I'm going to add my 002. Save. Now let's go back to Figma. Click on subscribe group. And we go to inspect and copy this line of code. Okay, go back. So I'm gonna add a class for subscribe property. So we name it subscribe curly bracket. Paste here. Save. Okay, it's paste for me here. Go back to Figma. Select like group and copy the property here. Go back to CodeSandbox and add new property. Class, open curly brackets, and we paste here. Save. Yeah, so for this property, we don't need to add width and height because the size is already have in SVG, so we don't need, we're just going to delete it. Same for this one. Open curly bracket and paste it. Paste here, Command V. Save. Delete width and height. Small dot. Copy property, Command C. It's gonna be class dot one. Open curly brackets. Command V. Same thing here. We're gonna add class dot two. Open curly brackets. Command V to paste. So the dot one here, dot, it's not moving, so that means I make mistake in the SVG code. Let's go back to app. Okay, I forgot to add one here. All right, save. Now the letters, its place. Let's see in the phone browser. Okay. Now I see that my dots it's not placed at the place I wanted, so I'm gonna play with the left position. Okay, down to the 8, for example, pixel. Okay, yeah, we will. Okay, now it's better. Okay, now we're gonna let's add some animation. I will show you how to use stroke dash array and stroke dash offset property to create like animation. Keyframe, and let's name this animation dash, open curly brackets, enter. This animation will animate the offset in a path stroke. This rule, I am going to define one keyframe. A keyframe at 2. Add to the stroke dash offset value will be set to 0. To apply this animation to my class subscribe, I will need to reference this offset animation the inside the subscribe rule. I will add animation property and call let's call dash animation. To apply this animation to subscribe, I will need to reference this offset animation inside the subscribe rule. I will add animation property and let's call dash animation. Okay. I will set the duration for 3 seconds. You can add different timing function if you want. It's depend on how long you want to do it. I want the animation have a slow start. That's why I want to use ease in. Forwards include the element when registering the style value that is set by the last keyframe. So my animation is not working because I don't put my animation in the good place. ID full stroke. Scribe and we add copy this animation. I'm gonna add stroke dash array. It's 2000. And then another property stroke 2000. We start to see animation here. Here you see that we don't see on the line, it's missing B and E here. That's because my stroke dash array and dash offset on the length are not long enough. So I'm going to play with the length. Let's start with 3000. We have it. So let's refresh what it looks like. So it's missing part here. What we do, we always use dash array and dash offset the same value. If I put 3000, this one too. What is a stroke dash offset? The stroke dash offset property and CSS define the location along a SVG path where the dash of a stroke will begin. The higher of the number, the further along the path its dash will begin. What is stroke dash array? Let you specify the length of the run part of the line, then the length of the gap. Stroke dash offset let you change where the dash array start. Alright, now I'm gonna add the same animation for like me. I'm just gonna copy this, paste. Gonna change for lines. Here it start playing. Yes, I like it. I forgot to close semicolon. Save. And same for this one. And line. Save. It's not appear here. I hide in my here. I close it. So let's comment out. It's here. Oh, all right. And for SVG, I'm gonna put delay for 6 seconds. Refresh. 3.5 second. 8. Let's create animation for dots. I'm going to use simple animation fade in, add keyframe, no, 0%, opacity 0 to 100%, opacity 1. I'm going to copy this line of code and paste and the dot rule. I'm going to change the name animation for fade in. And let's try for this one. Okay, so I have to put opacity 0 here as well. It's too slow. Put 10.5, 0.5 second. I'll go play with it until I find the good timing. Okay, this is not bad. Copy the same property for dot 2. Need more delay. 4. No, 5 seconds. I say maybe 6 seconds. Then we can use same delay, for example, 6. All right, I like this. Let's see the final result. This creates the illusion that the line is drawing the letters. If you like my tutorial, subscribe and like my video. If you have some advice for me or some suggestion for a new course, please leave me a comment below. So that's it. See you in my next video. Bye.